Welcome to the Hollow Grind. Greetings, everyone. Get comfy, grab a snack, and get ready to have some fun. Welcome to our mini feature film about two of the best Microtech models available. It's the brief evolution and comparison of the Microtech Troodon and Combat Troodon. Let's get into it right now. Let's start off with the smaller of the two, the Troodon model. This is one of the most pleasurable, pocketable blades that fall into the 3-inch EDC category. This version is the latest incarnation up through the beginning of 2020. It was named after the Troodon dinosaur and has become a huge hit in the OTF world. It features a 25% smaller sized chassis as compared to the full-sized Combat version. Along with its reduced size, it also has a softer, easier to fire mechanism that is smooth and crisp. It leans more toward to an utilitarian use, and Microtech did this to appeal to a wider audience of users. Its name comes from the Greek language meaning wounding tooth. Its 3-inch blade is arguably the best for EDC tasks and delivers superior performance. Let's take a look at an earlier model from 2007. This Troodon still has some useful jimping along the edge of the chassis, but has a smooth, flat finish along the finger gripping sides. It's pretty much the same size as the newer, more modern version, and also features an old ramped button glass breaker on the tail. These versions have the classic Microtech look that goes all the way back to the Vero Beach models. It also has the plainer and simpler ramped deployment button design. We'll compare all those later in the video. Over the years, Microtech continually improved the design of these to be more robust and user-friendly at the same time. The deployment button is also easier to push, though sadly this particular one needs some TLC as it would not retract at the time of the shooting of this video. These also came with the old tri-wing screws, which gave the knife a really distinct look. More on that later as well. The overall length is just under 7.5 inches long. The blade is just over 3 inches long. The blade steels have varied over the years, including the new runs in 204P, and the chassis are varied versions of high-grade aircraft aluminum. The blade designs have also remained very similar with some more enhanced details. The eye-pleasing Microtech holes have remained and are very distinctive. The ramped buttons have also changed a bit and will grab your skin well without abrasiveness for a positive deployment every time. The pocket clip has remained pretty much the same over the years and are different from the Ultratech models. The glass breaker has evolved from the old school ramp design to the new triangular design. It still features a very effective ball insert. Take a look at the chassis screws. The older tri-wing ones were not as robust as the modern triangular ones. They all require a custom bit for adjustments. Look out, here come the big boys. Like I've said before in our other Microtech features, the Combat Troodon is by far my favorite model. It's just the right combination of size and thickness to handle bigger cutting tasks as well as for defensive purposes. I've lost count on how many of these I've used and played with, and I can tell you for a fact that it will impress. It locks into my large hands very well and has a great balance to it. Some may find it a bit large for EDC, but not me. If you had to carry just one OTF, this would be the best choice in my opinion. This older Warncliffe is beautiful and classic looking. The slight curve of the blade will naturally begin to cut once the tip is in, just like the beak of a bird. All that's required is a pull back and the blade will start to dig in. It will also keep rope and string from sliding off the tip due to its curve. Though I like the look of the smooth chassis, the textured newer design is a great improvement. It feels just a little heavier than the newer models, but not by much at all. The button is stiffer and takes more effort to deploy than the Troodon model, but this is a plus considering the size of the blade. By comparison, the newer Combat Troodon is the ultimate Microtech knife for just about anything you can throw at it. It's a favorite amongst law enforcement, military, and first responder personnel. But one big caveat: you must keep the blade clean from debris and wipe it down before retracting in order to assure positive deployment. Usually, if I pocket it, I make sure to blow it out with compressed air at the end of the day, or my personal favorite way to carry this model is in a belt sheath. This ensures no pocket lint will get into it. The tactical finish on some of these really makes the whole thing pop, and there's so many configurations to choose from. These are so popular, they've even been featured in some major films like the John Wick series. The overall size is just over 9 inches. The blade is 3 3/4 inches long. The blade steels have also varied over the years, and the chassis are varied versions of high-grade aircraft aluminum. Here is a side-by-side comparison of the two. I really like the way the newer buttons have an X incorporated into the ramped design. Aside from the texturing, the differences are subtle between these two versions of the Combat Troodon. They stuck with the ramped glass breaker, which looks very cool and works incredibly well. The logos have changed very slightly over the years, but are almost identical. The blade stock is quite thicker on the Combat Troodon on the left as compared to the smaller Troodon on the right. One feature they don't do anymore is the deployment direction text on the buttons. This one is old school. Here are the classic versions side by side. Overall, they've remained the same size per model. The new production models don't have the dinosaur on them. One last look overall. Grab a Troodon or Combat Troodon and you won't be disappointed. Thanks for joining us again. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Join us on Facebook and Instagram. And don't forget to use your SAVE10 discount code for a discount on most items on our website during checkout. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.